good evening and a warm welcome again to one and all here at the finishing post track and ball at Hollywoodbets Greyville Racecourse, the home of the World Pool Gold Cup that's going to take place this very weekend. For the betting frenzy, Devon Govender and myself taking you through the betting frenzy that's going to be offered to you tonight here at Track and Ball, the finishing post. Devon, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. And yourself, Warren?
Yes, all under control, and looking forward to a wonderful hour with you and the punters here at Track and Ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to see the turnout here. A lot of people are here. They're very excited. So let's start and kick off things.
Absolutely. But you also tell me that during the course of this discussion, there's a horse overseas that you like that we want to get the punters to get involved with as well.
Yeah, I really like a horse that I've been following for a very long time now, and I see it's running again today. So let's hope it can arrive, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Well, to all of you that are here at the finishing post Track and Ball, good evening to you and a warm welcome. It's lovely to be in your presence tonight. Plenty of action, of course, as always. We've got draws taking place later on. You would have received your welcome pack. Betting frenzy is what it's all about. It's not necessarily, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to tell you what we like on the day, of course, but we're going to focus mainly on the betting and the extended stretched odds, the boosted odds it's called. But before we carry on, there's a couple of welcomes, of course, tonight. We welcome Bart Vanders, who's in the crowd here somewhere. One of the journalists from Hong Kong has come to join us tonight. And to all our regular punters that support us on a daily basis, welcome to you and thank you. I think Ash is here as well. Lovely to see everybody here. And Emmanuel is here in the crowd. And to all our punters, it's lovely to be in your presence. 10 races. There's 10 races, and the very first race on Sunday. Now, it's on Sunday, the very last day of the season. It's the Tab Gold Umkamasi Stakes. It's a Group 2 event over 1,200 metres. And they're going to be racing for a stake of 250,000 Rand. The slide for race 1 is up on screen. And a very competitive race to start the meeting off.
Very, very tricky race. A lot of horses with form here. My top two selections, number 4, Ready to Charge from the Michael Azzy yard with the Lyle Hewitson aboard. Then I also like number 7, Just Be Lekker, that originally opened at around about 5-1 in the betting odds market. But I think this is a really, really smart individual, and I'm expecting a big performance from number 4, Ready to Charge. Does have a very good draw here as well. What's the current odds now, Warren?
Yeah, absolutely. Ready to Charge is for Mike and Adam Azzy, Lyle Hewitson. That's your first choice to give me the green light. Ready to Charge at 2 starts for a win and a third. Let's have a look at the odds. 3.5, 3.57 are the current odds. And tonight you're getting boosted odds of 4.65. So 4.65 about Ready to Charge, Devon's selection in the first race. But let's talk about one or two other stretches in the market. Tail of the Comet. Ladies and gentlemen, Tail of the Comet from the Sean Terry stable debuted the other day. The money came like the result was known, and he won in the manner of a very good horse. He's been backed up, he's been put into this Group 2 event, and Tail of the Comet is favoured at 14-10. 14.3 is the current odds. Tonight, if you're a fan of Tail of the Comet, you'll get 17-10, 1.7 when you go to the Track and Ball counter just now. Others that are stretched, Outlaw King, 3.5. You can get 4.5, Outlaw King. Just Be Lekker. Well, what has Just Be Lekker done wrong? Nothing. He's, Just Be Lekker's had 2 starts for 2 wins. If you like Just Be Lekker, 6.25. You're going to get 7.85 tonight. And then I'm not going to go through them all. But your horse in the first race, which is Ready to Charge, 4.65, that's attractive odds.
Yeah, very attractive odds. I think this horse is very, very smart. I was very impressed with that last third behind Jerusalem Arraign with 1.75, and there is direct and indirect form lines throughout the day with Jerusalem Arraign. So I think this is a massive runner. It's probably a good way to start off the doubles, trebles, Yankees, Paytons, however you want to play it.
My lurker in the race is number 8, Heirloom. 8 is Heirloom, and Heirloom is currently 16.6-1. You can get 25-1 tonight about Heirloom at the boosted odds. Outlaw King's also got a chance, but we can't go again, give them all chances. Let's move along to race number 2, which is the World Pool Gold with Gold Circle debutant. It's a Group 2 event, 1,200 meters. A hot field goes to post. And the second race is at 11:45 on Sunday. Now, the horse that I'm very strongly in the camp of is the favourite, number 2, Oriental Bouquet, who is currently trading at 2.5 to 1. They're stretching it out a bit tonight. You can get 3 to 1 about Oriental Bouquet. And the biggest danger for me is number 3, Leaving Las Vegas, who's also 2.5 to 1 currently. And tonight you can get 3 to 1. But these, for me, are the 2 principal contenders.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you. My top 2 selections is number 3, Leaving in Las Vegas, followed by number 2, Oriental Bouquet. Touching on Oriental Bouquet first, I think it was a cracking effort in the last start, bounced back to form. The previous run on the 10th of June was drawn wide on that occasion, finished 6.9 lengths behind Secret Identity. That's clearly not her form. She's much better than that, and she showed that on the 1st of July when she was narrowly beaten by Batula. But my first selection here, and it's a very strong first selection, number 3, Leaving in Las Vegas. I think that 4.15 lengths behind Mrs. Geriatrics says it all. I'm going to be throwing this into everything. I don't want to know about anything else.
All right, Leaving Las Vegas for Devon Govender. Leaving Las Vegas is a Rafif filly, going to be ridden by Craig Zaki and is trained by Tony Peter, owned by Messrs. Lang, Leverton and the Peter Family Trust. So Leaving Las Vegas for Devon. I'm in the camp of Oriental Bouquet, so we're a bit different here. But there's a boxed exacta, there's a quartet, there's a trifecta, all those kind of bets that you can take Oriental Bouquet, Leaving Las Vegas. Should you be our followers? Should you like those horses? Quickly at the betting, Oriental Bouquet and Leaving Las Vegas, 3 to 1 tonight you get at the track and ball counters. 3 to 1, the boosted odd about Oriental Bouquet and Leaving Las Vegas. 1 or 2 others to mention before we go to the third race. American Graffiti, 7 to 1, you can get 10 to 1 tonight. So 3 points wider about American Graffiti. Calamuretta, 10 to 1. You can get some 14 to 1. No Filter is No Filter, 8 to 1. You can get some 14 to 1. But Oriental Bouquet and Leaving Las Vegas for Devon and I. Those are the boosted odds available to you tonight here at Track and Ball. The third race. I'll get you to start off the third race. It's the Whirlpool at Whirlpool Twitter handicap. It's a listed race. What are your numbers? Who do you like in the third race on the card?
I think this is a very, very tough race. In terms of the place accumulator, I think the punters are urged to go a little bit wide, but my narrow first selection is number 5, Captain Fontaine from the Garth Puller Yard. We've all seen how well Bernard Fairherb is riding at the moment. And the way I read this race in terms of the pace, I just think that things are going to map out perfectly for this horse. And he's trading at around about even money, 12 to 10 for a place. I'm not exactly sure what the place price is today, but you're going to give the guys the fixed odds betting for a win. I think this is a massive runner, and he's rated by the yard. Clearly has lots of ability. I think big runner here.
How well is Bernard Fairherb riding?
He's absolutely unstoppable at the moment. That's a massive plus for this horse. He needs a strong rider as well.
There we go. So Bernard Fairherb on to Devon's selection, Captain Fontaine. And the best news of all, Captain Fontaine is currently trading at odds of 6.25. You can get 8 to 1 tonight. 8 to 1 about Captain Fontaine. Devon's confident. Bernard Fairherb's confident. Garth Puller has this horse in a good space. But it's nowhere near as easy as that, because there are a couple of others to talk about. And the one I want to talk about is obviously a horse like Cosmic Highway. I think could bounce back to better form. But the other one that I like is a horse called Meredith. Tempting Fates come back to best. And Quasi for Sure is probably going to be my first choice, number 14, Quasi for Sure, who is trading at 28 to 10. You can get 3.65 tonight about Quasi for Sure. That's a huge price, in my opinion, about Quasi for Sure. 3.65. Never mind the draw. Confident Grant van Niekerk is the one that's in the saddle. Tempting Fate, do you give any chance for quartets, trifectas, Tempting Fate? He's good, this horse.
He's definitely got ability, and his last 2 starts have been fairly good. He's got Calvin Habib aboard, who's riding exceptionally well. So throw this one into larger trifectas and quartets, but for me, not in the top 3, maybe larger quartets. Others preferred for me.
Okay, larger quartets for Devon, Tempting Fate. I like Quasi for Sure. He likes Captain Fontaine, so he's giving you the value. I'm giving you the obvious. Quasi for Sure tonight. Boosted odds tonight. Go up to the counter and take your bets, because as far as I'm aware from now, right now, the betting market's open and the boosted odds are available to you. 3.65 Quasi for Sure and Captain Fontaine 8 to 1.
Just one
You want more than 8 to 1? You can't get more than 8 to 1.
Just one more horse I want to talk about before we move on. If the guys are looking for some value for the places, I don't think you can leave out a horse like number 6, Lord William, from the Glen Cotson yard. Now, this horse is dropping to 1,600 meters. If he jumps well and he's sitting about 4 or 5 lengths off the leader, I think that drop back in trip is going to make the world of difference, because as a horse, if he does nothing, he can sprint really, really well. Trifectas, quartets and swingers, Lord William has to go in.
Well, let's have a look then at Lord William's odds. Currently trading at 12.5 to 1, Lord William. Boosted odds for you tonight all the way to 15 to 1. So 15 to 1 about Lord William off the 12.5. 12.5 to make you laugh, they say, hey? Let's move along and talk about race number 4.
This is the Riding High Together Gold Bracelet over 2,000 meters. It is a grade 2. We've got the slide up on screen. First leg of the pick 6, Warren, is going to be a bumper pick 6. Massive pools expected.
Huge pools expected. Huge world pools expected. So you want to invest your money on the tote. You want to get in. Tonight you get your fixed odds bets with track and ball. You go and take your fixed odds bets. On the day you'll want to invest into those tote pools, because my oh my, the tote pools will be colossal. The payouts will be fantastic. And it's just all action-packed for Sunday. Racing and betting bonanza and betting fiesta. So quite right. I bumped into a punter the other day who said that they had a look at the card, and in their opinion, it looks to be, if things go right, it could be a favourable day for favourite backers, and I tend to agree. But things can happen. This is racing. And why I say that is because I've tipped Quasi for sure in the previous race, who is the favourite.
Yes.
And in this race, I'm going with a favourite again. I mean, surely, on the Hollywoodbets Durban July run, Bless My Stars should really be hard to beat. Or is there something else that you like?
Yeah, that is the current favorite, and the inflated odds are 2.35 to 1. Now, in terms of the pick 6, Warren, I'm going to be playing a little bit wide here. I'm not going to be taking any chances because she is up in the weights. Yes, she's run an absolute cracker in the Hollywoodbets July. She's run third there, 3.75 lengths behind Winchester Mansion. Was absolutely flying late in the day, but I do think that there's massive danger. So in terms of the pick 6, I'll throw in number 5, Dawn of a New Day from the Dean Cannemeyer yard. Number 8, Gilded Butterfly from the Stuart Pettigrew yard. Number 9, Hold My Hand from the Glen Cotson yard with Lyle Hewitson aboard, as well as number 10, Silver Darling with Grant van die Kerk aboard. And I think it was all these runners represent the Rain and Holland form line. That is why I'm going to be putting them into the pick 6. So I don't think that's cut and dry as the betting is at the moment. With number 7, Bless My Stars. Healthy respect for this individual. Sean Terry's in top form, but I won't be taking any chances in the first leg of the pick 6.
Okay, well, that could probably be the right advice to give, is taking no chances in the first leg of the pick 6. And yeah, I do like Bless My Stars, but as Devon says, there are a few others. You don't want to go out in the first leg. So maybe load up. But betting suggests, ladies and gentlemen, the betting suggests it is a one-horse race. I don't know if it's as easy as that. Bless My Stars, 17 to 10 tonight here at Track and Ball. Boosted odds, you can get 23 to 10, 2.35 is the boosted odd about Bless My Stars. Gilded Butterfly is the next in the market, 6.25. Tonight you'll get 8 to 1 if you like Gilded Butterfly. Dawn of a New Day, 7.14. You'll get 8.5. About Dawn of a New Day. Same with Silver Darling, 7.14. You'll get 8.5 tonight. And the last one I'm going to quote is number 1, Sarki from the Andre Nel stable. Sarki is 10 to 1 currently. You can get 12 to 1 tonight. But the point I'm making before we move on to the next event is that if you look at the betting market, boosted odds 23 to 10, Bless My Stars. The next one in the market's 8 to 1. So as far as the betting suggests,
it's a one-horse race.
The betting suggests it's a one-horse race, but we're saying it's possibly not.
Yeah, definitely not. Got to play wide in the pick 6 here.
Wide in the pick 6 for the first leg for Devon Governor. But if you're a Bless My Stars fan and you weren't happy with the 17 to 10, please go and help yourself as much as you like to the 23.5 to 10 tonight. This 5th race on the program for Sunday. Well, my oh my, ladies and gents, here is a race that if this doesn't get your heart pumping, well then I'm not sure what will, because it's the World Pool Moment of the Day Champion Stakes. The World Pool Moment of the Day Champion Stakes. We're racing. We thank Hong Kong Jockey Club for their sponsorship. It's lovely to have some of their representatives here in South Africa and in beautiful Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. And it's going to be great having them at the races on Sunday too. But the 5th race on the card, let's quickly run through the betting. Lucky Lad, the Sean Terry sensational horse, is currently trading at 13 to 10. They'll give you 16 to 10 tonight. Main Defender is currently at 3 to 1. 3.75, the boosted odd for you tonight. Sandringham Summit. If Sandringham Summit didn't catch your attention on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, maybe you nodded off for a moment, because that was probably, in my opinion, the quickest performance I've seen. A horse quicker up in a long time. Sandringham Summit 3.5, you can get 4.5. Francine 20 to 1, 28 to 1. I agree with the betting market here. I think it's a 3-horse race. Main Defender, Lucky Lad, and Sandringham Summit.
Yeah, 100% in full agreement with you. What I would advise punters to do is you'll have a lot more, you'll have a good idea of how this race is going to pan out after the first race, because there's direct and indirect form lines. Because if you look at Ready to Charge in the first race, finished 3rd behind Jerusalem Arraign. So let's talk about the top 3 runners. First, let's start with Main Defender. This horse beat Jerusalem Arraign by 2.1 lengths. Then we're going to move on to Lucky Lad. On the 29th of April, beat Jerusalem Arraign by 2.75 lengths. And then number 14, Sandringham Summit, ran 2nd to Jerusalem Arraign, 0.25 lengths. Now these top 3 horses dominate the betting, and I think you'll have a good idea of how the first race pans out to see how strong that form is. I'm not saying that Jerusalem Arraign is better than these runners, but you'll have sort of a line or an idea on what to do in terms of the pick 6. But I do think they are the principal contenders here. Can't separate.
I agree with you. Do you think, Devon, do you think that the fact that Main Defender has drawn 5,
yes,
and Lucky Lad has drawn 13, and Sandringham Summit's drawn 14, that could make the difference? If you can't split them, but if you were forced to split them, could the draw sway you in Main Defender's camp? I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm asking a question.
I would just advise punters to tread with caution, because you know how important draws are. If you burn a horse out from a wide draw, they don't have that finishing burst. But these are quality animals, and they're capable of doing it. I'm not saying that they can't do it, but just tread with caution, because the draw is a concern. I do think that Main Defender would have a slight advantage on those 2 principal runners.
What time is that race overseas? Because there's a horse running here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at Thirsk. Devon's got it. What time is the race at Thirsk?
That'll jump at 17:55. So what is the time
7
now?
minutes. We've got 7 minutes. I think we should let the punters know now what the horse is in Thirsk. And if it doesn't win, well, then I don't know. Let's hope they don't throw tomatoes at us. But you tell us who it is, the horse in Thirsk that you like tonight that runs at 5-2.
Yeah, just for the punters that are here, I've been following a horse in the UK that will jump at Thirsk, race 6, 17:55. It is number 7, Happier, and I'll tell you why I like this horse. If you go back 4 runs, Duran Fentiman rode this horse and ran 2nd at this very track at Thirsk. Finished 2.75 lengths behind William Dewhurst on that occasion. He's now back aboard the horse today, and in the last start, the horse was beaten favourite at 11 to 10. Now take note that this horse has been running in open company. Now racing against fillies again. I've seen they've put the cheek pieces on for the first time. The last time I checked, you could get about 7 to 10 for a place and 5 to 1 for the win. So I'm not exactly sure the odds now, but it should jump much shorter in the betting. The last time I checked was around about 5 to 1. So Thirsk race 6, number 7, Happier. There is 8 horses. Could be some value there for 3 places. I know quite short, but you could possibly add it into your multiples, doubles, trebles, etc.
Okay, there we go. Thirsk race number 6 it is that right?
100%.
Thirsk race number 6, a horse called Happier. And if Happier wins, well, we'll be much, much happier than we are right now.
Very happy.
So Thirsk race 6, horse number 7, Happier, which runs in about 6 or 7 minutes. We'll keep an eye on the TVs, and we'll keep an eye out somewhere. We'll be able to hear about Happier, and hopefully we won't be sadder. Let's move into the next race, which is race 6 of 10. And the action just gets better and better as the day progresses. It's a Group 1 for R1,000,000 over 1,200 meters, and it's the Mercury Sprint. And lovely to have them part of the Whirlpool Day, and thank you to the Mercury for their continued support. Let's quickly rattle through the betting. 8 to 10, as short as 8 to 10, friends. Gimme a Prince from the Dean Kannemeyer stable. It was a long time ago that we saw Dean, and Gimme a Prince, odds on 8 to 10, 0.8, but tonight they'll give you off the track and ball machines 11 to 10, 1.15, so 11 and a half to 10 is what you'll get about Gimme a Prince. Isi Vungu Vungu, I think this is a good price they're offering here tonight. Isi Vungu Vungu, 3.5 to 1 you can get Isi Vungu Vungu, and then write your own ticket really for the rest of them. There's a big jump in the betting market. Thunderstruck's next best at 14 to 1. I don't know, the betting is suggesting that the Mercury Sprint is a 2-horse race. I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well. I was watching that replay yesterday, Warren. I was looking at it a few times, and I quite like number 4, Gimme a Prince. I can see you can get 1.15 to 1 inflated betting today. This horse came with a big reputation, and every time that he stepped out onto the track, he delivered. I think he's a massive runner and could be the closest thing to a banker.
Gimme a Prince.
Gimme a Prince.
Okay, that's fine. So maybe in one of your permutations, would you possibly bank a Gimme a Prince, and one of your other permutations load up? I mean, how do you play? We all play differently, because Dean Kannemeyer, they've always rated this horse. They believe he's a champion. He's got a neat, cozy draw. He's a good horse. He's a top horse. And it was just as well yesterday that I watched that replay.
Yes.
And as well, it was outstanding. But I just think I'm going to do the same as you. I'm going to take one perm where I bank a Gimme a Prince, and another one I'm going to load up, because I think all of Valdorcia is my lurker in the race. You may think I'm mad. What price is Valdorcia? 33 to 1 Valdorcia. You can get 40 to 1 for a place. I'm talking about my value for a place, Valdorcia. Thunderstruck knocking at the door. Sergey last time. If Sergey wasn't drawn closer to the duck pond at Botanical Gardens than the inside rail here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, Sergey probably would have won. I think he's a runner. Absolutely. Isi Vungu Vungu from the Pete Muscat stable, Group 1 winner of the computer form sprint. I think he's a massive runner. So you're either in the camp of Gimme a Prince, or you've got to load a few. I can't decide. So in my 2 perms, the one I'm bankering, the favorite, and the other I'm putting at least 5 horses.
Yeah, like I said, I was watching that replay yesterday, and I was very impressed with his last win when he beat Thunderstruck. Showed a lot of guts and determination on that occasion. Keegan DeMello, the regular pilot aboard, forms part of the best weighted column. One of my pick 6 will have number 4, Gimme a Prince, as a banker on the day. Okay, so there we go. Lovely fighting talk for the Mercury Sprint, a Group 1 event. Quickly, before we move on, to just repeat to you, Gimme a Prince 8 to 10. Currently 8 to 10 is Gimme a Prince. Tonight you can get 1.15 about Gimme a Prince, who is well fancied by the stable. I can add that to the discussion. They fancy this horse very strongly. Isi Vungu Vungu 3.5 to 1 is the boosted odd, and then it's outsiders after that. And talking about well fancied, Peter Muscat fancies his horse too, Isi Vungu Vungu, so I think we could be in for a good race. It's going to be an absolute cracker on the day. Moving on to race number 7, which will jump at 14.50. It's the big one, Warren. The Whirlpool Gold Cup Grade 3 event over 3,200 meters. And the current favorite opened up at 15 to 10. That is none other than number 3, Future Pearl. Now, before we go any further, to talk about the Million Rand Group 3 3.2 kilometer race, Whirlpool Gold Cup. We've spoken about Hong Kong Jockey Club, our sponsors. And I can't see if Bart is here, because the lights are quite bright. But if Bart Vanders is here, and Dean, I'm not sure if you guys are in here. Not yet. And maybe we'll see you just now. But he's from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. And what a wonderful gentleman that we've had a chance to work with and to meet. And they are so excited. Apparently the whole of Hong Kong Jockey Club and the whole of Hong Kong can't sleep until Sunday. They're so excited. Yeah, it's absolutely magnificent to have them over. Okay, now the favorite Future Pearl. When this horse won on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, I haven't seen a horse win that impressively in a long time. I'm in full agreement with you. I do make him the horse to beat, and these inflated odds here are very, very inviting. 1.8 to 1, 18 to 10. And then the next one in the betting market is Aragosta, which is trading at 5.5 to 1, 8 to 1 you can get. 8 to 1 tonight about Aragosta. Blackthorn, I thought was a huge run
on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, Blackthorn, horse number 11. So let's just get your thoughts about Blackthorn. I thought he really caught the eye late in the race, and I think he's going to make his presence felt in a big way here in the Whirlpool Gold Cup.
Yeah, made up a lot of ground at the closing stages, was drawn wide on that occasion. Does have a little bit of a wide draw to contend with, but there's plenty of time to get around that. But I do think that you have to throw this horse into your larger trifectas and quartets. Remember, he was a very, very good horse. He's highly rated by the yard, and Keegan DeMello knows this horse exceptionally well. So you have to include this in your larger trifectas and quartets. But for me, the horse they all have to beat, number 3, Future Pearl. The odds of 18 to 10 are very, very inviting. Throw that into your doubles, trebles, whatever you're taking on the night today. I think is going to be a hard horse to beat.
I want to talk a little bit more about this race because it's obviously the headliner. But what about last year's winner, Shangani? 11 to 1 currently. They're offering you 15 to 1. We cannot ignore his chances. I'm not saying, maybe he can win it again, but surely if you're taking trifectas and quartets, you've got to give him some respect.
Yeah, you cannot discount a horse like this, and just looking at the betting odds there for Shangani, that opened at 11 to 1, and you can currently get 15 to 1 today. So those inflated odds, 15 to 1 for number 6 Shangani. He's definitely loaded with ability. If he gets a good run in transit, there's no doubt he's there. He's going to make his presence felt. He absolutely thrives around this sort of a trip.
Okay. I just want to, before we go on any further, I just want to see if there's anything else that jumps out at us. What did you make of Seamaster's last run? Because his penultimate start, when beating Razor Hallelujah in the Lonsdale at odds of 33 to 1, to be quite frank with you, I was shocked at the win, because I never gave him much chance in that race, but nor did the punters, because he started at 33 to 1. And then last time out behind Crimson King, what do you make of that?
Yeah, this is the kind of horse that tends to run really well here at Greyville, and it could be a bit of a lurker for your swingers, trifectas and quartets. So you can't totally discount his chances. No doubt he's going to be running on very strongly. And the other one of the Funzale runners, number 5, Fight Song, ran an absolute cracker in his last start, finishing 2.8 lengths behind Future Pearl. What a great run from him. Yeah,
it was certainly a great run. Always I try and look for a bit of value in the Gold Cup year after year after year, and it works sometimes, but the favourite for me this year, purely based on the way he won the Gold Vase in earlier this month, the way he thumped the opposition, the way if Richard Free had asked him for more, he would have won by 5, 6, 7 lengths. And I keep looking at the photography, and I keep looking at the video footage of that race, and I just can't help but think to myself, what is going to beat Future Pearl in the Whirlpool Gold Cup? 15 to 10 Future Pearl trading, 18 to 10 you can have tonight. Aragosta 5.5, 8 to 1 tonight. Blackthorn, who is the roughie in my opinion, the horse that can give plenty cheek, 7 to 1 tonight. You can get 9 to 1. And then, of course, Shangani, 11 to 1, 15 to 1. So we're all in the camp of a Future Pearl. And I see that you're looking at the TV and shaking your head. So are we not happier?
Not happy. A horse been pulled out of the race.
Pulled out of the race.
Pulled out of the race.
Okay, well, horse safety and horse health comes first. Yes. Don't worry about the 100 wins.
We'll find another one.
We'll find another one, absolutely. But if the horse was pulled out of the race, something went wrong with the horse, let's just hope that the horse survives. That's the most important thing. The 100 rand is not an issue. The horse is a problem. So that's racing, unfortunately. Let's move to the 8th race, which is the Hong Kong Jockey Club Champions Cup. 1.250 million, 1,250,000. A race over 1,800 meters, a Group 1 event. Thank you to the Hong Kong Jockey Club for all their support of this race meeting. It's going to be a cracker. Friends, we must let you know that the entrance to the race course on Sunday is free. Free entrance, free parking, free into the race course at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Sunday. And they've opened the gates for all so that we can try and get as many people to come and enjoy this 5-star quality race meeting that we have on offer for you. So free entrance, free parking, get to the races on Sunday. Back to the Champions Cup. Let's talk betting. See It Again. The horse that was just stiff in the July. See It Again, currently trading at 14 to 10. You can get 16.5 to 10 tonight. Princess Keller, I cannot believe, and I'm not suggesting that Princess Keller is going to beat See It Again, but I cannot believe that Princess Keller is 6.5 to 1. Tonight you can get 8.25 about Princess Keller. Dave the King, 6.25. Those odds are inflated to 9 to 1. Zapatilis, 7 to 1. Drifted out or boosted out to 9.5. El Mutana, 7.5. Drifted out or boosted out to 10 to 1. El Mutana. So these are some generous odds. Is See It Again a good thing? I think Princess Keller is going to give some cheek. I really do. She is a freak, this horse.
Yeah, I wouldn't make number 11 See It Again a good thing, with all due respect. I do believe that it is one of the leading lights, one of the leading contenders here, the horse that they all probably have to beat. And I see those inflated odds at 1.65 to 1. Piers Stradum, he knows this horse exceptionally well, ran an absolute cracker in the last start. It's there for everybody to see, but I do believe there are dangers. Yes, I'm in agreement with you. Number 10, Princess Keller, is going to run an absolute cracker with Richard Fourie aboard. And at those inflated odds, there could be some real value there for the places. And a horse that I really like, a value selection, number 2, Zapatilis. This horse was really well prepped for this race. Look at his last 2 starts. Go and watch those replays. Have a look at the last 2 runs. The one was on the 25th of Feb. That was a long time ago. But look at his last start on the 10th of June when he finished 3rd, 3.1 lengths behind Charles Dickens on that occasion. I think he's had a beautiful prep coming into this race, and I'm expecting him to run a massive race here. So maybe a nice small each-way bet on number 2, Zapatilis, could be some real value. And number 3, Triple Fortune. You cannot leave a horse like this out of the pick 6.
Talking about Zapatilis, 7.14 is Zapatilis' current odds. Tonight you'll get 9.5 about Zapatilis. That's the stretch, that's the boosted odd. Having a look at the beautiful footage that our team have got from around the room here, that has been so beautifully decorated in the pale blue, the colors of track and ball. Lovely to see everybody digging into their packages that they've got there, of the tickets, of the race card, of your vouchers, and all that. And of course, don't forget to enter the competitions tonight. We're going to do some lucky draws. We're going to have good fun, some good fun after this. There'll be a lovely meal to enjoy together, and of course, plenty of lucky draws. Will you help me do some lucky draws? Will you stay with me and do some lucky draws? Okay, so the Champions Cup, you've heard it from Devon. You've heard what the boosted odds are. Go to the counters and strike your bets tonight. Race 9, which is the penultimate race on the card.
It's the Douglas White Stakes, Grade 1. It's over 1,600 meters. Another very tricky race, Warren. Do you have an outright first selection here, or are you going to be playing wide in terms of the pick 6?
Before I give you the outright selection, I must ask you this. Have you met Douglas White before?
No, I haven't.
Well, Douglas White friends will be at the races on Sunday. They've made some memorabilia for him, some caps, Douglas White Racing caps. And he'll be at the races and doing the presentation of the race. He'll be handing out some caps. And really, if you haven't met the mighty Douglas White, the Durban Demon they used to call him, he'll be at the races on Sunday. Another reason for you to come racing. To answer your question, do I have an outright selection? No, not really. I think it's quite a trappy race. It's a Group 1 event. It's not the strongest Group 1 field I've ever seen assembled, but my oh my, there's depth, there's quality, there's form to work with. And when I say horses to keep an eye on, number 3, Bavarian Beauty, very talented individual is Bavarian Beauty, 16 to 1. You can get 20 to 1 tonight. Over the page, Distant Winter, horse number 4, 6 to 1. You can get 7.5 to 1 tonight. Raskova's coming back to form. Dolceza's got solid form. And Egyptian Mao is probably going to be my narrow first choice. 33 to 10 Egyptian Mao. You can get 4.5 to 1 tonight about this horse. And of course, even Secret Identity, the second favorite, has got a chance. But I've got an outsider for you. And you're going to think I'm completely mad. But you won't be the only one that thinks I'm completely mad. Who's my outsider?
I'm waiting for you to tell us, and I'll give you my comment after.
It's the longest it's joint. There's 2 outsiders in the race at 40 to 1. Epic View and Bosnay. Tonight you can get 55 to 1 about Epic View and Bosnay. But the horse I'm talking about is number 13, Bosnay. For Preggy Sinasundram, Daryl Moore and Loyola Mangotwa. They've got the deepest draw to overcome. But yeah, she's won her maiden race beating Mythical Tune. I know that's nothing to get excited about. First run out the maidens in the Debonair, finished 3 lengths to Secret Identity. Some are saying that Secret Identity can't lose this race. They fancy Secret Identity strong. 3 lengths off Secret Identities, then a good run. Last time, 7 lengths off Mrs. Geriatrics in the slipper. So the 2 post-maiden runs have been actually very good. I know it's a Group 1. Loyola Makotwa, I believe, asked them to keep the ride on this horse, Bosnay, and at 55 to 1, have some places on Bosnay.
I'm in full agreement with you, Warren. I followed this horse on July Day as well. And if you go back on that run on the 10th of June, if you watch that replay closely when this horse finished 3 lengths behind Secret Identity, did a power of work, traveled wide almost throughout the race, and still sort of kicked on late towards the end. So the benefit here could be the step up in trip to 1600 meters. And if the pace is solid, which it's likely going to be, a horse like this is going to be eating up the ground into the closing stages and flying at them really late in the day. So I'm in full agreement with you. Could be some real value for the places. Maybe a nice each-way bet there on number 13, Bosnay. But in terms of the pick 6, for me, I'll probably go close to including the entire field, because I believe it's that sort of a race where you're going to get a result here.
Let's move on then to the lucky last race, which is race number 10. And race number 10 is the Longines Hong Kong International Races in December. Umgani Handicap. It's a listed event over 1,000 meters, and that's what we like to see. Everybody filling in their tickets, everybody filling in their entrance tickets, and putting them into the competition box, and we're going to go and have some fun with the punters just now. And it's lovely that there's a fair crowd here tonight, and we're going to enjoy one another's company. But the last race, the 10th race, let's talk betting. 22 to 10, 2.27 American Skyline, horse number 7 for Garth Puller and Sereno Mudley. Boosted odds tonight, 33 to 10. 33 to 10 about African Skyline. Number 1, Mr. Master Starter for Keegan DeMello and Dean Kannemeyer, 4 to 1. 4.85 to 1 tonight, Mr. Master Starter. Love in Winter, 4.5 to 1, 6 to 1. And in the horse, we must share with the public. This horse, Pray for Rain. Pray for Rain, number 4 in the last race, is trained by Carl Hewitson, is ridden by Lyle Hewitson, who's here from Hong Kong. It's owned by the Poets Corner Syndicate, nominee Mr. Michael Moroney. Michael Moroney has never set foot on South African soil in his life before. He's flying in for the race, and he's flying out. Flies in, I think, on Friday, today, and I think he flies out on Monday to come from Ireland. So he's in South Africa for the weekend, is the owner of Pray for Rain. So how much more of the office do you need? Flying in from Ireland is the owner, Carl Hewitson the trainer, Lyle Hewitson the rider. It could be an end, a fairy tale end for this whole team here.
Yeah, and you can get odds of 7 to 1 tonight. So this horse was trading at around about 6.25 to 1. So tonight, 7 to 1 for number 4, Pray for Rain, and could likely pull it off, because I believe that this is quite an open race.
Yes, well, my 2 horses, in fact 3 horses for the last race. 1, Mr. Master Starter, 4, Pray for Rain, and there was 1 other, number 7, African Skyline. But I'm firmly, and quite firmly, in the camp of the fairy tale to come true in the last race. I do like Pray for Rain. I think he'll win again. I think Carl and Lyle, father and son combination for their owner that's flying in from Ireland, will be the horse to beat. And tonight, at odds of 6.25, stretched out to 7 to 1, I'm going to go and take some 7 to 1 about Pray for Rain. It is an open race, yes, but I think that this gelding will win again.
I quite like number 7, African Skyline, from the Garth Puller yard with Sereno Mudley aboard. The last 3 runs, it's run absolute crackers. Finished second on the last 3 starts, And I do believe that this horse is very capable of winning here. And what's inviting for me, Warren, is the odds. Opened at 2.27 to 1, and tonight you can get 33 to 10. So I believe that's tremendous value for your multiples, doubles, trebles, patents, Canadians, whatever you want to play tonight. The odds are inflated. Get on tonight. This is some real value, because I think this horse is going to run an absolute cracker.
Well, that's the 10 races for you, and those are the odds. Obviously, we can't go through each and every single odd, but here are the leaflets that I'm sure are printed and distributed amongst the track and ball tonight. And you've got lovely boosted odds for you. You've got lovely food. You've got there's Bart Vanders all the way from Hong Kong. Raise your hand, Bart. Good evening to you, Bart. Lovely to see you. There's of course Jürgen. There's Bart from Hong Kong, and he'll be enjoying our company tonight, and some South African fare. I think it's lovely biryani we may be eating. Bart's already had bunny chows, he's already had curries, he's already had everything. And Bart is here all the way from Hong Kong, and we welcome you, Bart. A very warm South African welcome to you. But before we talk about one or two other things, those are the 10 races, those are the prices, and that's where you go to the counter to go and get your extended odds. You're a voice that's started to do some commentating, you're doing a lot of presenting. How's things going for you now that you're in a public platform? Not that you haven't been in a public platform before, but for those of you that those punters that might have thought, well, who's this new young voice that we're hearing? This is the man. You're enjoying your stint at commentating, your training commentating?
Yeah, everything's going really well thus far, and I'm thoroughly enjoying each and every minute of it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's Devon Govender, who is my colleague and good friend and co-host on this show. It's been absolutely wonderful. And as I said, don't rush off. It's 11 minutes past 6. Of course, we want to all get home to our families and children. But there's action here tonight. There's lucky draws. There's generous prices on these horses racing at the Whirlpool Gold Cup race meeting. And let's enjoy one another's company. There's packs. You'll see those brown envelopes with a sticker on it. Those have got your vouchers. Those have got your entrance tickets. Those have got everything for you to enjoy. So let's stay and enjoy one another's company and have a bit of fun, good, clean fun. And thanks to everybody here at Track and Ball, the Finishing Post, Olivia and her team, Dean, and absolutely everybody that gets involved to make your punting experience pleasurable. Devon, nothing else we can add? We're just going to have an enjoyable evening. We're also going to try and get our 100 Rand back that we lost on Happier.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and get out of it. Hopefully we'll find something international races, or maybe we might just dive into those inflated odds and work out a few doubles and trebles, and hopefully come Sunday we can collect.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, just a reminder, the first race is early on Sunday. Let's just remind you that the first race is at 10 past 11. 10 past 11 on Sunday, free entrance and free parking. We really look forward to welcoming you to Hollywoodbets Greyville on Sunday for the Whirlpool Gold Cup. It's a massive race meeting that brings a curtain down on Champions season. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. You, the valued punter, the valued race goer. We so enjoy being in your company. From Devon Govender, Warren Lenferner, we look forward to chatting to you just now. Be safe as always, and we'll see you on Sunday in the number 1 box.